Hello everyone. In this video I'm going to review Module 9, Week 9, what to expect and some of your responsibilities. Before I do, I want to mention that I must congratulate you for completing the group project. I know for some of you it was a challenge, but you were all able to complete this. Looking at the discussion board, I can see those who have already posted their recordings. All groups, so group B, you're behind, you need to catch up with the class. So when you post it, make sure that that this is a message for everyone. You've been assigned groups, as I disclosed in my previous review. If you watch my review for module 8, week 8, so I'm not going to go over that in week 9. So this is just some housekeeping issues. So everyone who is in a group has individual responsibilities, and if you watch my module 8 week 8, you should understand what those responsibilities are. Now that said, let's go into our course calendar so we can review module 9. You will be getting feedback on your post in week 8. But before I go into feedback, I expect that you will be engaging in self-reflection, be considerate in your posts, especially to your assigned groups, and make sure that you know what is coming up, because in week 9, which you are looking at, you've got quizzes. Well, these are not difficult quiz, and I think you all can ace this easily, particularly if you review the contents, the materials for week 9. In one of the quizzes, which is timed, you've got 1 hour 30 minutes. I don't think you need up to that, but I just want to be clear that I give you enough time. So if you review all the materials that you're supposed to review, especially, let's go into our course shell. This is in week, if you go to learning modules, and let's access that in another way. So I go to course materials and I look for week 9. So once you access week 9, these are the materials, the readings. If you access these materials, I think that should be sufficient to prepare you for the multiple choice quiz on logical fallacies. So there are 10 questions, all multiple choice, and it's a test of your knowledge of logical fallacies. And it's open book, obviously, but it's time for 1 hour 30 minutes, and I'm not going to go beyond 1 hour 30 minutes. If anyone is asking for an extension, I've already granted you an extension in advance. Previously, I would give my student 30 minutes to do it, and later it became 1 hour, and now it's 1 hour 30 minutes, and I'm not going beyond the boundaries of 1 hour 30 minutes because it's multiple choice, and I don't think you need up to that to answer some multiple choice questions, especially given that it's an open book quiz. Now the other assessment that let's go into the learning modules tab. You will notice that in the discussion area, actually, which is not a discussion area, it's more of an activity assignment which I need you to complete. You will go, it's an assignment which you complete. You will access it from the assignments and projects tab, but I've also linked it here so that you can access it easily. So this is part of your weekly assessment, particularly for the week. If you don't have the course textbook, this is where it's going to catch up with you. If I don't see it by the due dates, you will get graded for it, and you'll be given a 0. It's pretty easy. It's simple exercises. There are only 5 questions, and it's you will pretty much fill in the blank from respond which one is A, B, C, D, or whatever, and the answers are easy. So I've had students complete this in my previous classes, and they usually do well. The only way you will not do well for this particular inductive and deductive argument exercises, and on page 145, it's if you did not study or you don't even know what inductive or deductive argument is. So I've given you tons of resources on how you can learn what an inductive argument or inductive arguments and deductive arguments are. So make sure you're able to identify which is which. before you begin the quiz. And you've got the course materials. It's an open book quiz. Speaking of which, I want to go into the next item on the course calendar. You will be reviewing the resources I've posted. Like I mentioned, there are resources. I have something on Sherlock Holmes, if any of you are interested in that. If you don't want to check it, that's fine, but I think it's worth knowing. It's part of those who are interested in arguments, logical reasoning. Sherlock Holmes has become something of a cult, a figure when it comes to thinking logically. Of course, everything is being dramatized and put into Hollywood, but I'm a huge fan of Sherlock Holmes. The writer, Sir Arthur Conan Doyle, who wrote the famous, who created the famous Sherlock Holmes. If you're interested in it, you can take a look at some of the resources here. I do think there's something to learn from Sherlock Holmes in that if he uses inductive reasoning a lot, and he calls it this science of deduction, which is not really a science of it's more of inductive reasoning that he's using, and he uses that to make educated guesses, which helps him solve mysteries. Well, in my in-person class, I would have activities, and I would ask students to tell me how they read, and the way Sherlock Holmes reads is quite different from the way most people would read. He basically reads for information. He reads to apply whatever he learns to his legal detective work. So it's a character, but I think it's something we can learn from. If you're interested, you can take a look at the contents. I have a presentation on that as well. I don't think I posted it here, but I'll be uploading some materials which you can access for your own pleasure, and if you're interested in the character of Sherlock Holmes. Speaking of which, I want to go into the next content. Like I said, you have materials on logical fallacies, and the materials which should help you in responding to the homework and the quiz. When you complete week 9, you're going to have another essay, and that's the room for debate essay in week 10. Now, let me go back into our course shell, because I know that you guys are thinking about your group project, how I'm going to grade it. My plan is to grade it. I'm going to work on grading it this week. That is the week. I'm assuming we're in week 9, although this recording was released in will be released likely in week 8, but most likely you will be able to see it by week 9. So my plan is to work on grading your group project as soon as I can. It's going to take me some time, so if I don't get it to you at the end of the week, it's likely going to be next week. Okay, thanks for watching my review, and I hope you have a great rest of the day. Bye bye.